Welcome to the 2020 Virginia Superintendent of the Year ceremony. My name is Doug Shook, and I currently serve as superintendent in Bedford County and also as president of the Virginia Association of School Superintendents. I know that we have many superintendents joining us today, and I'd also like to give a special welcome to any family members, friends, and others who have joined us as we honor our 8 regional superintendents of the year, and at the end of our program, announce the one of those 8 who will be named the Virginia Superintendent of the Year. Now, under normal circumstances, we would have conducted this program during our annual conference in Roanoke about a month ago. But as we all know, these are not normal circumstances. So we're doing what we have all learned to do since mid-March, and that is to make our best attempt and continue our work using the tools that we have available. So I'm thankful that we have this technology and that we continue to do this program amidst these trying circumstances. So without further ado, I would like to start our program by introducing our very first special guest. Dr. James Lane is our state superintendent of public instruction, and he's also a former Virginia Superintendent of the Year. So Dr. Lane, please share what you'd like with our group.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you to VASS for having me today. I'm so excited to be a part of this ceremony. First, before I get into main remarks, I just want to take a second and thank all of the superintendents around the Commonwealth for everything that you are doing to protect students, continue learning, feed students, provide students with supports for their mental health, and everything necessary during this pandemic. It has been truly an honor to work not just with our superintendents, but all educators around the Commonwealth. But there's a unique burden on our superintendents to make difficult decisions in the midst of a crisis. And your leadership has been steady, resolute, decisive, and we are all just so impressed with all of your leadership during this time. And so on behalf of all educators in the Commonwealth, thank you to our superintendents for what you are doing to lift up our communities, our students, our parents, our teachers, and everyone in our educational community. As Doug mentioned, I had the honor of serving as a Virginia Superintendent of the Year before, so I know how much this honor means to all of the 8 finalists here from each of the regions. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you for being selected amongst the best in your region. And, you know, to be honest, if you're one of the top 8 superintendents in Virginia, you should consider yourself one of the top superintendents in the nation. And so I'm proud to have so many great educational leaders here with us today, because I know that I know what it takes to run a school division. I know what this process means to you, and I know how hard you work every day to lift up your students and your families and your community. So thank you so much again for everything that you do, and thank you for being the leaders we need in the Commonwealth now during this pandemic, but at all times for our kids to make sure that we're maximizing their potential. So again, thanks for having me, and I cannot wait to see who the winner is. And so with that, it is my job to introduce the Secretary of Education, Atif Carney, who has joined us today. Secretary Carney is a former teacher from Prince William County, a former Marine, and just an amazing partner through all things that we do in education. And he is here today to share his thoughts as well. And so now I will turn it over to the Secretary of Education, Atif Carney.
Dr. Lane, thank you so much. Dr. Shook, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all the superintendents. Congratulations to the 8 regional awardees, and I know that eventually towards the end of the ceremony we'll hear the state superintendent of the year announced for 2020, and just want to congratulate whomever that is. Thank you so much to all the superintendents. You're awesome and amazing. Thank you for all the work that you do, especially during these trying times that we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. You have demonstrated excellent leadership, and you know, we just think so highly of you here in the governor's office. He really appreciates your work. I really appreciate your work. Thank you so much for seeing through all the tough things that you're dealing with addressing the needs for families with school nutrition. There's a lot of great work being done with distributing meals for our families. There is a lot of great work being done with the continuation of learning. I know you're anxiously waiting to hear from us on what this summer or this fall will look like. And I really appreciate all the guidance you have provided, Dr. Lane and myself, through a variety of work groups and task forces. You're volunteering so much of your time and time away from your families as you do to really provide us that guidance. And we cannot do this without you and your help. So really appreciate all the great sound leadership that you all demonstrate each day in, day out. I really have enjoyed working with you all the last 2.5 years, and it's been a great pleasure. Again, thank you so much for having me on. And Dr. Shook, I think I'm turning it back to you.
Secretary Carney, I will actually take over for a minute, and I think that I will join you in recognizing our next special guest. And our next special guest is the Governor of Virginia. He is a graduate of the Virginia Military Institute. He is a pediatric neurologist and the nation's only governor that serves as a medical doctor. And he is here via video today to share words of encouragement for our superintendents. And so at this time, I would like to recognize the 73rd Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Ralph Northam.
Hello, superintendents. I regret that I cannot be with you today for your spring conference, but I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for all you do for Virginia students. On behalf of every student, parent, grandparent, and citizen of this great Commonwealth, I am deeply grateful for the leadership you have demonstrated as you help equip students, families, staff, teachers, and administrators to respond and adapt to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is not the semester any of us imagined, and I know you have been working around the clock to ensure the students in your division are able to learn and even to eat while our schools are closed. I am so proud of how you have stepped up to support your communities and ensure that every student is served equitably. Virginia's superintendents are not just in the business of educating students. You also serve as the chief executives of your local school divisions. I know you take that role seriously, and I thank you for your hard work, dedication, and sacrifices. You have been with us every step of the way, helping your school divisions navigate this new normal and providing valuable input as we develop state-level guidance. You are all rising to the challenges presented by the COVID-19 outbreak, and you are demonstrating great resilience. Finally, I want to congratulate Virginia's Regional Superintendents of the Year and the Virginia Superintendent of the Year that will be announced here shortly. Each and every one of you are tremendous leaders, and you deserve to be celebrated. I ask you to continue to be innovative in the ways you work to protect your employees, help students learn, and ensure they have access to nutritious meals. The world has no doubt changed. This will be our new normal for a while, and we must understand that. But it won't be forever, and we will get through this together. Thanks again for all you do, and please continue to stay safe.
So thank you, Governor Northam, for those words of encouragement. Thank you, Secretary Carney. Thank you, Dr. Lane. Your presence here with us is very special to our superintendents and to our guests that are part of our ceremony today. But in addition to that, we just thank you so much for all that you've done to support us through this COVID-19 pandemic, the school closures, and all that you're dealing with in trying to support us in our local communities. So at this point, we're now going to transition to recognizing each of our regional superintendents of the year. And for those that are not familiar with how we work as superintendents as a group, we're divided into 8 regional study groups across the Commonwealth. Each of our regions meets periodically as a group to discuss issues and to learn from each other. And we also nominate a regional superintendent of the year that will be announced here shortly. However, also each region has a chairman or chairwoman, chairperson, whichever term you like, and those individuals will be introducing the winners from their regions. So at this time, I want to recognize Michael Gill, who is the division superintendent in Hanover County and the chair of Region 1.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shook, and it is so good to be with all of you, especially so as I get to introduce the Region 1 Superintendent of Year, Dr. Melody Hackney of Hopewell City. Dr. Hackney has been a superintendent for 15 years, including 5 in her current role in Hopewell City. When she first arrived, it was abundantly clear that she would be called to be a culture changer, and she has done exactly that. She is relentless and she is uncompromising in her expectation to have all staff members have the highest of expectations for Hopewell's students. She is the leader and the epitome of Hopewell's motto, unwavering hope till all the children are well. She has indeed restored the hope to the well in Hopewell. She is innovative, having staff learn from experts such as those at High Tech High, and she has been a leader in the Commonwealth for her unique approaches to the school calendar. I'm so proud to call her my colleague, but I'm even more proud to call her my friend. Again, it's my pleasure to recognize the Region 1 Superintendent of the Year, Dr. Melody Hackney from Hopewell City.
Thank you, Mike. At this time, we are now going to recognize our Region 2 winner. And so I would like to introduce Victor Shandor, the Division Superintendent in York County and the Chairman of Region 2.
All right, I am honored to share remarks on behalf of Dr. Eli Bracey, the Region 2 Superintendent of the Year. In 5 years as superintendent, Dr. Bracey has led Portsmouth Public Schools to an increase in school accreditation from 6 of 19 tested schools to 14 of 19 accredited. He has also expanded classroom opportunities for students throughout the city by increasing career and technical education programs that prepare students for industry-level jobs right out of high school. For the 2020-2021 school year, Portsmouth Public Schools will launch its 14th CTE program. During this time, Dr. Bracey helped expand a dual enrollment program called First College in partnership with Tidewater Community College, which allows students to earn a full associate's degree while still in high school. He established a Chromebook computer initiative, which provides each high school student with a Chromebook computer to use at school and at home. He also secured devices for every child at elementary and middle schools to be able to use at schools, creating a technology pathway for all students' academic development. He believes educating students involves the support of staff, parents, and the community. As such, he established teacher, student, and parent advisory committees. These working groups serve as a forum to share ideas and concerns, as well as receive direct counsel from stakeholder groups. His work with parents and staff has been so lauded that in June of 2017, the Virginia PTA named him its State Superintendent of the Year. Additionally, under his leadership, Portsmouth Public Schools has also hired a parent liaison in every school whose sole responsibility is to help support students and families in and out of the school setting. Dr. Bracey currently serves as the Vice President of Southeastern States for the Urban Superintendents Association of America. Region 2 is extremely proud to have Dr. Bracey represent us as our 2020 Superintendent of the Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. At this point, we're going to continue in our program, and I'd like to recognize Scott Baker, who's the Division Superintendent in Spotsylvania County and the Chairman of Region 3.
Thanks, Doug. On behalf of Region 3, I'm honored to present and celebrate our 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Dr. Carol Carter. Since 2015, Carol has served as the proud superintendent of King and Queen County Public Schools. Rob Benson, a Region 3 member and superintendent in King George County, shared that Carol is a thoughtful, caring, and valued leader. Her focused and forthright leadership style, coupled with her sense of humor and genuine caring for those with whom she works, is admired by her colleagues in Region 3. I and we in Region 3, we know Carol is a servant leader and the ultimate team player. Good to great author Jim Collins' description of characteristics of the most effective, or as he referred to, level 5 leaders, include a paradoxical blend of humility and will. He says that level 5 leaders never seek to become larger than life heroes. They never aspire to be put on a pedestal or become unreachable icons. They are seemingly ordinary people quietly producing extraordinary results. And finally, he said it's not just about humility and modesty. It is equally about ferocious resolve and an almost stoic determination to do whatever needs to be done to make the company, Carol's case, the division, great. Carol is the kind of leader who pours herself into the work. Like most level 5 leaders, she has quietly but assuredly lifted the conditions and performance of her school system. You know, these days there's a great deal of talk about equity, but with little fanfare or self-amplification, Carol has facilitated processes that have substantially increased equitable access and, more importantly, outcomes for diverse populations. You know, just one illustration, in a 3-year period, her school division increased on-time graduation rate from 75 to 98%. A closer look reveals that students who were economically disadvantaged improved from 85 to 97%, African-American students from 75 to 100%, and students with disabilities from 69 to 100%. This systemic improvement is a tribute to her leadership and systemic approach. Because for Carol, it's easy to see that like any other level 5 leader, it's not about her. It's about the organization, the people, the beautiful kids. Her stamp on the King and Queen system is to make sure that every student counts. And as they say in King and Queen, one team, one mission. Carol is also a listening leader, an engaged and approachable leader. And as we strive to personalize learning and educational services in a small division like Carol's, where everyone knows everyone, Carol personalizes leading. Laura Abel, her colleague from West Point, shares, Carol is one of the most caring and truly giving people I know. She's always asking, how are you doing? And genuinely cares about the answer. Dr. Carol Carter is an outstanding educational leader and a really cool, down-to-earth person. This small person is known to love mowing her grass on a big John Deere mower. And she and her husband are huge NASCAR fans, and they frequently try to attend nearby races. We are proud to have her represent our region and believe she would be an ideal representative as our state superintendent of the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That was really great. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. All right, at this time, I'm going to introduce Dave Jeck, who is the superintendent in Fauquier County and the chairman of Region 4.
It's an absolute honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Shannon Grimsley, the superintendent of Rappahannock County Schools, as the Region 4 Superintendent of the Year. And I think the most important thing you need to know about Shannon is contained in her signature line, which states signature / cheerleader in chief. Shannon is the ultimate advocate and promoter of Rappahannock County Public Schools. And I can tell you, as a neighbor of Rappahannock County, she's brought Rappahannock County Schools to a new place, both instructionally and in terms of the school system's impact on the community at large. I'll also point out, Shannon knows every child and every child's family within her school community. And Shannon also sends personal birthday cards to all of her staff and all of her students. Shannon is amazing. Shannon I first got to know more about Shannon when I attended a VSBA presentation that she hosted regarding a community-wide health program called Commit to be Fit. And it's a remarkable program, and it left sort of an indelible imprint on the Rappahannock community. And Commit to be Fit is a program that I think all of us should follow. It's a program that has really transformed the Rappahannock community. She also created a preschool program after a Head Start abruptly pulled out of Rappahannock County, and she quickly provided service to 100% of eligible families in Rappahannock County. She did that on her own. She's done a lot in terms of really groundbreaking things in Rappahannock County. She launched a completely new public relations program. She's established a vibrant social media presence, completely revamped the budget process to include all stakeholders, very transparent program and process. She implemented the Critical Friends program, which is a more collaborative sort of one-on-one approach to professional development, which is really an outstanding program. And I would just say on a personal note, I've learned a great deal from Shannon regarding humility, the value of kindness towards all, and the need to be more actively involved in the community and more actively involve the community. And lastly, I would just say this, Shannon may be the only millennial within this esteemed group of nominees, and perhaps the only millennial superintendent in the state of Virginia. But if Shannon represents what we can look forward to as a statewide school community, then we're going to be in great shape. And really look forward to seeing what else Shannon will do. And again, it's a great honor, great privilege to recognize Shannon as the Region 4 Superintendent of the Year.
Thank you, Dave. At this time, I'm going to introduce Andrea Whitmarsh, the superintendent in Greene County and the chairman of Region 5.
Hello. Doug Straley, superintendent of Louisa County Public Schools, was selected to represent Region 5 as the 2021 Superintendent of the Year. An obvious factor that makes Doug Straley so incredibly successful in his role is his commitment to his community. He's a Louisa native who graduated from Louisa County High School and returned home after college to give back to his community. He's served Louisa in various roles, including middle school teacher, athletic director, principal, and assistant superintendent. This undeniable familiarity and closeness with the Louisa County community means he has an outstanding relationship with community agencies in the area. We all know that working closely with those agencies can make a huge difference for our students. To him, serving as the superintendent gives him an opportunity to continuously work towards drastically improving his own hometown. Under his leadership, the division has embraced profile of a graduate and has outlined personal and educational goals for Louisa students. Doug often reiterates the crucial need for students to learn critical skills now in order to be better prepared for the fast-changing job market that lies ahead of them. Those efforts towards student success perfectly demonstrate a strong dedication to education. In addition to being involved with creating and improving opportunities for students, Doug goes above and beyond to offer and show support to his teachers and staff in his division. Whether providing innovation grants to help teachers incorporate new activities in classrooms, cheering on a teacher who ran to Richmond to support scholarships for students, or recognizing a staff member each Friday as an LCPS MVP, he's completely committed to supporting and inspiring his staff members. During this especially challenging time for all school divisions, Mr. Straley has maintained his usual level of enthusiasm. After closure, he quickly led his division through the transition, all with a 212 attitude. When considering remote instructional plans, he knew that there was a strong need for better access to broadband in Louisa. The division created and deployed WOW, wireless on wheels, mobile hotspots powered by solar panels. He also shared those designs with other divisions who had similar challenges. Doug has a genuine desire to show students, teachers, and community members his full support in his words and actions, but he's also a dedicated colleague. He's continually working with leaders in other divisions to seek new ideas and determine how he may be able to assist them. He's a collaborative colleague an inspiring team player, and is always looking to positively impact children no matter where they live. I'm honored to introduce my colleague and friend, Mr. Doug Straley. Congratulations, Mr. Straley. We're honored for you to represent us as the Region 5 Superintendent of the Year.
Thank you, Andrea. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mark Church, Division Superintendent in Franklin County and Chair of Region 6.
Thank you, Doug. It is my pleasure to introduce the Region 6 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Gene Katolka. Gene is completing his 42nd year in education and has been the superintendent in Allegheny since 2015. In his career, he's taught social studies and math and coached basketball and baseball for the counties of Chesterfield, Hopewell City, King George County, Spotsylvania County. And he served in administration for Spotsylvania, Henry, and Orange before going to Allegheny as its superintendent. Gene and I share the love of the Bulldog breed, and we've often swapped Bulldogger stories. Many who know the breed appreciate that tenacity is a common trait. When they want something, they are relentless in getting it. And I've noticed over the years that Gene also has the tenacity trait. Gene has been a champion of small and rural schools and continues to bring these issues to the forefront to both local and state legislators. He has forged great relationships with policymakers and works diligently to make sure they understand the hardships of managing small and rural schools. Through Gene's leadership in Allegheny, they are now one-to-one Chromebooks for all students K through 12. Gene developed an early scholars program in collaboration with Dabney S. Lancaster Community College that provides their students an opportunity to graduate with an associate's degree. And he is in the process of implementing a new tech program at Allegheny High School. Gene is a true leader in our region, and his guidance and wisdom is much appreciated. I speak on behalf of the superintendents in Region 6 when I say that we are honored to have him as a friend and colleague. Fellow superintendents, it is my pleasure to present Mr. Gene Katolka, the Region 6 Superintendent of the Year.
Thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like to introduce Terry Arbogast, Division Superintendent in Giles County and Chair of Region 7.
Thank you, Dr. Shook. Good morning. On behalf of Region 7, I have the pleasure this morning to introduce our Region 7 Superintendent of the Year, Ms. Haiti Robinson, who has been the Superintendent of Dickinson County Public Schools since March 2009. She has experience working in public schools as a teacher, assistant principal, central office administrator, and superintendent. Haiti is well respected by her colleagues, and she goes above and beyond to promote what is best for not only the students in Dickinson County, but also the students throughout our region. Her passion for students and their success is very evident when you speak with her. I asked my colleagues to share some thoughts, comments about Haiti, and here's what resonated through those comments. Professional, a mentor, someone who cares for her colleagues, a team player, has a passion for taking care of children and her staff. I would have liked to have read all of the comments that I received from my colleagues, but knowing that we have a time constraint, I want to share just a couple of those with everybody. Haiti is widely regarded by our peers, colleagues, community leaders, students, and their families. Haiti is one of those special school leaders who has garnered respect, friendship, admiration from others, and in all aspects of the school community by being kind, professional, poised, and treating all people with authentic respect. Haiti has consistently been a source of inspiration, a mentor, and a wealth of knowledge for me during my tenure as superintendent. She is selfless and will drop anything she is involved with to assist her friends and colleagues. She is a worthy recipient who I am proud to call my dear friend. So on behalf of my colleagues in Region 7, I have the distinct pleasure to congratulate and recognize Haiti Robinson for being named the Region 7 Superintendent of the Year.
Thank you, Terry. And last but not least, it's my honor to introduce Amy Griffin, Division Superintendent in Cumberland County, who serves as the Region 8 Chair and also as our VASS President-elect.
Thank you, Doug. I'm proud to present my friend and colleague, Mr. Charles Berkeley, as the Region 8 Superintendent of the Year. Charles has been the Superintendent of Lunenburg County Public Schools since 2014, and he's held a number of positions such as an agriculture teacher, an assistant principal, and a director of operations. During his tenure as Superintendent of Lunenburg, the division has seen an increase in on-time graduation and a decrease in the dropout rate. The division was also recognized in 2018 and 19 as being one of the top schools in the state for attendance. Together with his administrative team, he always gives credit to his team. Charles implemented a comprehensive plan of action that targets academics, behavior, culture, and which supports the profile of Virginia graduate. This plan called for implementing the Virginia tiered system of supports to decrease behavior referrals, consistency and transparency to all stakeholders, financial processes that provides consistency, and putting steps in place to promote a positive division school culture that ensures a safe and secure learning environment. Other programs and procedures put in place in Lunenburg during Charles's tenure include transitioning to a new online testing platform, deploying managed security services, and spearheading the creation and development of a new school website, Facebook page, and automated messaging system. Actually, we copied them on their web page development. Charles was born and raised in Lunenburg County and is a 1975 graduate of Lunenburg High School, Central Lunenburg High School. He's married to Paige Berkeley and has 2 sons, 1 daughter, 2 grandsons, and 2 granddaughters. Personally, I've seen Charles grow into a leader and mentor for our colleagues in Region 8. When we're nominated for this honor, the main thing that came out from all our colleagues is that he's the person you go to when you have a question. You can depend on him to give great advice. And I look forward to watching you, Charles, from afar as you lead your division in the future and you lead Region 8 in the upcoming years. And without further ado, I present Mr. Charles Berkeley as the Region 8 Superintendent of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. And we're all going to miss you when you retire here in a month or so. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate each of the 8 regional superintendents of the year that we just heard about in such great detail. And I also want to thank the 8 regional chairs for taking the time to put those words together and sharing them with all of us this morning. So earlier in the program, we heard from Governor Northam, we heard from Secretary Carney, we heard from Dr. Lane, 3 of our key leaders at the state level. At this time, it's my honor to introduce our 4th special guest, the Honorable Daniel A. Gecker, who is the President of the Board of Education for the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, thank you, Doug. I certainly appreciate the invitation to share this special day with you. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to thank all of Virginia's superintendents for their exceptional leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic and the unexpected school closures. All of Virginia's superintendents could be considered superintendents of the year as they have gone well above and beyond the normal requirements of their job to ensure that learning continues in their school divisions while also providing social and emotional support for their students, staff, and parents. It was a privilege to serve on the Virginia Superintendent of the Year Selection Committee with the leaders of Virginia's major education organizations, including James Lane, the Virginia Superintendent of Public Instruction, Rodney Jordan, President of the Virginia School Boards Association, Doug, President of the Virginia Association of School Superintendents, Jim Livingston, President of the Virginia Education Association, Donna Colombo, President of the Virginia PTA, Travis Burns, President of the Virginia Association of Secondary School Principals, Andrew Buckheit, President of the Virginia Association of Elementary School Principals, and Robin Huffman, President of Virginia ASCD. We all agreed that our task in selecting the Virginia Superintendent of the Year was very difficult because of the high caliber of leadership of all of the candidates. I myself went through all the applications and found the top and the bottom separated even on my initial rankings by a very few number of points. Before I announce the Virginia Superintendent of the Year, I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate the candidates for their selection as the Superintendents of the Year from their regions. Your distinctions are well deserved. Now, it gives me great pleasure to announce Melody Hackney, Superintendent of Hopewell City Schools, as the Virginia Superintendent of the Year. Congratulations. And I think you need to unmute if you want us to hear your excitement. Uh-oh.
Sorry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. I can't see myself. I hope you can see me. I'm absolutely overcome with emotion, but not maybe why you think. I'm very proud. I'm very honored. I love each and every one of you, my colleagues, and I'm humbled beyond words to be in your company, to learn from and serve with you. I have the greatest job in the world. We have the greatest job in the world, inspiring others to love and grow God's precious children. What a responsibility, but also what an incredible gift. Until a few days ago, I wasn't going to prepare any remarks. Truth be told, I think that's a little bit speculative and kind of weird. But if you know me, you know above all else, I am a woman of faith. And while I had my routine morning prayers from my bed just a few days ago after receiving the invitation to this ceremony, God spoke to me. He told me, I think this is going to happen. And I needed to prepare some comments to use this as a platform to further our work and our commitment to the children of Virginia that he deems the least of these. I laid there and I initially fought it. Honestly and truly, my first thought was, I don't have time for this, God. And if you've ever had the opportunity to negotiate with God, you know that you're not going to win, at least in the end. He persisted and ultimately I submitted. It's taken me 59 years to figure out that I'm not in charge anymore. He is. He makes the hard stuff really easy. You trust him, you push through your fears and your vulnerabilities and you go with it. I did, and here we are. That in and of itself is going to be a testimony. Stay with me here, my friends. These words are divinely inspired. God had a different plan. He told me this was going to happen, and while honestly, my first reaction was, again, I'm really not sure I have time for this, especially now with COVID-19. I had to listen, and more importantly, I had to hear. And here's what I heard. And this message was for all of us, my colleagues and superintendents. I want you, Melody Hackney, to use this new platform to continue being the voice for the least of these. You know that scripture from Matthew that says, whatever you've done for them, you've also done for me? Well, in spite of your and your colleagues' best efforts, my sons and daughters, there continue to be gross inequities in public education experiences for my children based upon where they live. And I love each and every one of those children. I have plans for them, but we must work harder for the ones who need us the most. I've placed you in Hopewell to do that, but there's more work to do, not just in Hopewell, but in Virginia and in America. Never have we seen this better illustrated than during this pandemic, when in spite of our hard work to engage all of our babies in safe and distance learning, we continue to fail the least of these at no fault of, but because of some of their unique circumstances associated with living in poverty. We can do better. You'll figure it out, take it to the next level, and keep me posted every step of the way. All things work for good, my daughter, and there's a lot more to come. Be the messenger, be the light, be the voice, be the hope, not just in the well, but in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. I am thrilled with Virginia's emphasis on access and equity for all of its children. We are making great progress in the Commonwealth. And Governor Northam, Secretary Carney, Dr. Lane, we've got this. You have 135 superintendents, many of whom are on this call, doing everything in their power to take care of all of Virginia's children, all of God's precious children. So with that, I hear you, Lord. I will use this honor and platform to continue your work on behalf of your children, extending your hands and your feet to serve, loving them, dreaming for them, connecting the dots, filling in the gaps for your purpose and plan for their lives to be realized. We will accept nothing less for them. I appreciate the privilege and find joy in serving them and you every single day you give me. I know tomorrow isn't promised, but if it comes, I'm back to work on their behalf today. Well, not necessarily today. Today, I think I'm going to rest in this incredible honor and blessing. I won't let you down. We've got this in Virginia, Lord. Stay tuned. Thank you to my precious family, my husband, my kids, my parents are on this call, my sisters, all of you, my friends, and my colleagues. We did this together. This is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely surreal, but it is just another gift to me from my God, and I will use it for his glory. Thank you. Bless you all.
Thank you, Melody, and congratulations on behalf of all the superintendents. Also, thank you for being so bold with your words and in your testimony. I think we all need to hear that message today. At least I know that I did. And I hope that it inspires my colleagues in the same way that it inspired me. You know, the one thing that we do lose, maybe more than one thing, we lose lunch too, but the one thing I feel like we lose by not being together physically is applause, standing ovations, things of that nature. But please know that we're all kind of doing that in our own way. And also, not just for you, but for the other 7 regional winners, our intent, I use that word very carefully, our intent is to honor all of you in person on October 19th at our annual fall conference during a luncheon in Charlottesville, provided we are permitted to do that and provided it's safe to do that. And at that time, all of you will receive your actual awards, plaques and the like, the mementos marking this occasion. So at this point, I would like to thank our staff at VASS for making all of this possible and for shifting with the circumstances and making this special ceremony happen in a timely manner and in a way that honors all of our recipients. Like the governor said, I'll end as well, asking you all to stay safe and remain vigilant in your work. And I hope to see you all very soon. Have a wonderful day.